critical thinking portion of it, where you have discussions in class about why you can or can't do something, and how everybody at one point we all go by laws, abide by laws, and understand that. So being able to put that into practice and have something that I'm already well aware of was kind of enjoyable for me.
So was there one element of that, something where where it just clicked? Maybe there was a day in class or something you read where you really felt like, okay, the light bulb went on here, or was just kind of everything in general?
Kind of everything in general. They brought up traffic stops is where I kind of latched on to, as far as like the Fourth Amendment rights that go with it and everything that you need. So I remember traffic stops really intriguing me, and then the criminal investigation classes were very enjoyable, minus the gory pictures that they have in some of the books. But I would say those two things really stuck out through all my classes.
I think whenever we speak to someone in law enforcement, one of the things we hear is there's just something inside of me that wants to make things better, wants to take care of people, make sure that order is restored, that the community is safe. What is it for you that really drives you and you love doing this kind of work?
Especially on night shift, you get to be there when things aren't going well for a lot of people and when something bad has just happened, and to be able to try and help the person through that time, and hopefully bring justice for them, and to kind of give them a little bit of advice is really what drives me.
How do you handle those difficult conversations when people don't want to see you? Sometimes people don't want to see you when you're in law enforcement, and there's some tension right off the bat. How do you try to work through that?
Let them know that I'm not there to make anything worse for them. And some people you just need time, to get used to that. We're here. We're not going to leave till we resolve this, and just giving them a breather, and not berating with questions if they're not ready for that, and giving them a chance to get a breath in and kind of understand everything that's going on, and to help them understand why we're doing something, and the laws that go with it, or what the justification is behind it, especially afterwards when they're mad about how something happened, and explaining what led you up to the conclusion that you came to.
I like to ask this question when we do this because I'm fascinated by the job that you do each day. And if I have a bad day on the job, whatever, you might have a bill that comes in you're not expecting, or whatever it might be. When you guys have a bad day on the job, it can be very different. How do you deal with day to day that knowledge that you're not guaranteed to go home at the end of your shift, and you're dealing with some tough situations and tough people all day long? How do you deal with that going through your job day to day?
Taking it day by day. I'm already thinking about work on my way in, and just taking it step by step, knowing every day that I have to give 100%, because it might end differently no matter what situation I'm in. So for me, just taking each day at a time, knowing what I have to do during that day if I have follow-up or if I have other stuff to do, but trying to consider every circumstance before you go into a call or take a call.
What's the best part of what you do? What do you like most about your job?
Just being able to help the community and the camaraderie that we have for West Fargo PD. But we're given many opportunities to reach out with the community, whether it be through Night to Unite or just getting out on patrol. Like you had mentioned, I do bike patrol, going around giving kids coupons for ice cream cones if they're wearing helmets, and just reaching out and seeing their smiling faces. And it seems like the parents are about just as happy as they are when they see it too. So being able to bond with that and continue to support the community that we have that's already extremely supportive of us.
Well, speaking of support, you've got a number of your colleagues here today. What does it mean to have that support from the team?
Well, it's awesome. One of them is actually my neighbor and came out just because he wanted to support me as a neighbor and a coworker. And knowing that we have an administration that is so supportive, that all took a time out of their day where they have umpteen things going on. I know especially Chief Otterness always has stuff going on. It means a lot that everybody took that time and thought it was important enough to come out and support me.
Yeah, well, I want to talk to the chief here too. Dennis, thanks for being out here today too and bringing some of your team with. Tell us a little bit about this young man and what he means to your team.
Well, he's he's a great example of just a fantastic team we have policing out in West Fargo. But Officer Sorenson has really stood out over the last month or two. We get daily reports of all the activity that's gone on, either over the weekend reports, or just daily reports. And I can tell you that his name has been front and center on a lot of things that have been going on in the community. So he was a really easy choice, I think, for our administration to be honored. And again, I want to thank you and Flag family and Luther Ford for taking the time to recognize the great work that our staff does day in and day out for the citizens of West Fargo. So,
well, you've got a lot of people here that do the work. With your department as a whole, how many people do you have at West Fargo PD now that are serving our community each day?
So we're up to 69 sworn officers and 13 support staff that work full-time, and then kind of a cadre of part-time people that work there as well. So, but yeah, we're up to 69 sworn officers. So the department continues to grow every year.
Well, the city continues to grow,
It does.
as they tell me, so they probably need the people doing that work there.
We do, and we get Officer Sorenson mentioned it too. We have a ton of support from the community, from our commissioner, our elected officials, and as the community continues to grow and the calls for service increase, they're good at providing additional staffing for us that we need to be able to go out and do the difficult job that we ask these people to go out and do every day.
I'd like to ask the folks that are in your position when we do this to tell us a little bit about how things are going in West Fargo. What are we seeing for trends? What are some of the things that you and your team are spending more time on? Maybe we're some things that are getting a little bit better, but give us the overview of how things are in West Fargo as in terms of law enforcement.
Yeah, I think things are going really well. It's interesting. Tonight I plan on providing the commission with our annual report from last year for 2021. And so we overall, crime numbers decreased again in the city of West Fargo, which is really positive. I think it speaks to the relationship the community has with our police department. That's really important. We did see a slight uptick in some crimes against persons, which was kind of on par, I think, with a national trend with domestic assault cases, ticked up just a little bit. But overall crime, we are well below our 6-year average, so which is good. That's a good thing for the community. And I think Officer Sorenson pointed out too that we are doing a lot of things out in our community, a lot more proactive in terms of community engagement and community outreach. So a lot of great programs that we've initiated over the last year, and so we're looking forward to sharing that with the commission tonight. Well,
great. Well, thanks for being here today. Thanks for getting this together. Thanks for all you do and for your team as well.
You bet. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Chief Dennis Otterness. Joel, we do this every month, and it's a highlight of the month for us, for sure, to come over, and I know for you too, it means a lot. Tell us a little bit about this event and what it means to your team here.
I feel like I'm a broken record because I say the same thing all the time, but we do. We really appreciate what you guys do, and we see it when you guys come out. You're really happy to get an honor like this, so we continue to keep doing it. So thank you for what you do, and we're with you. We appreciate it. So.
Well said. There are a few things that are going to be happening after we get done here today. Sandy's Donuts will be delivering some goodies to West Fargo PD and here at Luther Ford as well. Joel and the team at Luther Ford, the administration here, they donate a $100 gift card to Luther Family Ford to the officer involved, and that's going to be passed along to a nonprofit or charity in the community so that they can make good use of that as well. We've got a section on our website, am1100theflag.com, where we've got a directory, biographies of all the honorees in this program going back now a little more than 5 years. So if you're interested, you can see that and all the people that have been honored here in this as well. And in the days ahead, we'll be inviting Eric to come on the Need to Know Morning Show with Kevin and Alex and talk a little bit about his job and getting into law enforcement, similar to what we've done here as well. Last thing I always like to say is that at AM 1100, Flag Family Media, we very much appreciate and honor the work that these men and women do for us in the community. We know it's a difficult job, and there's a lot of second guessing sometimes. And in our operation, when there's action taken by law enforcement and it makes the news, that we give the benefit of the doubt to the men and women who've gone through the training that they have to know what to do and how to handle those situations in the best way. And that's always going to be important to us at our organization. So that's our commitment to the community again. So once again, I want to say thanks everybody for joining us here, being able to watch this online, and everybody here at Luther Family Ford as well. Thanks to all you team members here at Luther for coming out and hanging with us, and thanks to all you guys at West Fargo PD for coming out here again. We'll see you back here next time at Luther Family Ford and on am1100theflag.com. Take care. We'll see you then. Above grass every day.